So what's up, guys? I'm Kerry Rhodes.
And I'm Carlos Campbell, and welcome to another episode of Tacklin Life, where we aim to create more relatable moments through honesty, vulnerability, testimony, most importantly, human interaction. Kerry, who we got today, man?
Man, so we got my good friend in the building, Brock O'Hearn. He's an actor. He's a fitness expert.
Stand by. We're going to take it from the top again. One more time.
What'd I do wrong?
All right, go for it again.
It's your fault.
Shoot!
Guest. What do you need?
Is it right?
For guest? Yep, let me get the guest here. Now it's just a practice. You guys,
Cool.
give you a quick start.
Practice? Practice? Talking about practice.
All right, you like it now?
This is the One Take Wonder crew. What are they doing?
Alex, is that good? Just make sure you don't sit forward.
Who, me?
You gotta stand
Is
up.
that good?
Damn it.
All right,
You know the
cool.
drill.
We, give Car-
This is acting 101, how to make it look natural.
Carlos and
They're uncropped.
They're uncropped. Okay. You like them centered? Good. Carlos, you can cheat an inch towards Kerry. An inch, just an inch. Perfect.
Yep.
Go for it.
So what's up, guys? I'm Kerry Rhodes.
And I'm Carlos Campbell, and welcome to another episode of Tacklin Life, where we aim to create more relatable moments through Sorry.
All right,
Can we
Blooper,
start
here
that?
go.
All right, third the charm.
As we. All right.
Go for it when you're ready.
Yep.
So. All right, let's go. All right, come on. All right. So what's up, guys? I'm Kerry Rhodes.
And I'm Carlos Campbell, and welcome to another episode of Tacklin Life, where we aim to create more relatable moments through human. Oh, gracious, what is it?
You all right?
Gracious. Oh, we got it this time.
All right.
All right, we
This
got it.
hasn't happened, so I guess it's all in line with everything that's going on. All right. What's up, guys? I'm Kerry Rhodes.
And I'm Carlos Campbell, and welcome to another episode of Tacklin Life, where we aim to create more human. Grace, what is wrong with me today?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Carlos, cut the wire in while I got you here. Make sure that jacket doesn't curl in on you. Keep the mic exposed, yes.
Good.
All right, yeah, just tuck that wire in underneath so it doesn't leak out. What's going on here? Where's that?
I got it this time.
Where's the mic though? I don't want you to hide the mic. Where's the mic? Curled out, yeah.
So do it.
Yeah. I'll get it. Here, come on, yeah, I get it.
It was meant to be.
It's meant to be. All right, cool. All right, here we go. Fourth
Good?
time.
Yeah,
Here we
okay.
go. When you're ready.
What's up, guys? I'm Kerry Rhodes.
And I'm Carlos Campbell, and welcome to another episode of Tacklin Life, where we aim to create more relatable moments through.
That's okay. That's why we make blooper
You
That's
got
in your head.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Better. Go ahead. Keep
got
it
it.
good TV for me.
All right, let's go. You got it. What's up, guys? I'm Kerry Rhodes.
And I'm Carlos Campbell, and welcome to another episode of Tacklin Life, where we aim to create more relatable moments through honesty, vulnerability, testimony, and most importantly, human interaction. Who we got today, Kerry?
Man, we got my good friend Brock O'Hearn in the building, man. He's an actor, fitness expert, been on the cover of many magazines and all that stuff. So, I mean, I think the ladies will have a good time with this guest today, but I also want them to understand a little bit about his journey, man. And he's got so much more to his story than just the stuff that we talked about. So, good friend Brock, how you doing, man?
Good, man, good. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, appreciate it.
No problem. What's new in your life right now? You want to tell us a little bit about your story and your background? Let's get into it.
Yeah. Well, right now, just focusing on work, doing the whole acting, starving actor thing, That's a lot of fun. And starting a website right now, talking about fitness. It's going to be primarily based around fitness and how I can give back to people who are, following or looking on their journey to better their lives,
Right.
And yeah, so I mean, those are like the two kind of things I'm really focusing on. Obviously, I love acting, but yeah, I've been in LA for about 5 years now, 5-6 years, and it was a bit of a struggle coming in. I come from a family that not financially sound. My mom, single mother with 5 kids, and she was cleaning houses to get us by. So my mindset going in was these dreams are impossible. Everyone around me, everyone in my area, any one of my friends, it seemed like it was something that was just completely unachievable. And in the back of my mind, no matter what, I always said, first off, it was always be positive. Ever since I was 12, that was like my motto. It's always been be positive. Now, I've made some better ones along the way, but that's one of my foundations. And after I went to college the first time, paying for my own college, doing community college, never got the chance to play sports like you guys, but you know, I think I had potential. You know, I think I had some potential maybe. Yeah.
You got the size, yeah.
I was actually I didn't start my clock the first time I went to this community college. They wanted me to play ball for them. The coach was super excited about me. He told me the last guy that played the position he wanted me to play got a $300,000 scholarship to USC, and I was faster than the guy. I was more athletic, and I was like, that's music to my ears. Like $300,000 a scholarship, that's crazy. You know, that doesn't happen to people in my family.
Right.
And so didn't start my clock, but I took 2 classes, and one of them was nutrition because I love health and fitness. The other one was career planning class because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Deep down, since I was a kid, always wanted to be an actor. I did a couple plays when I was like 12, 10 years old. But that seemed just impossible, you know. Yeah. And so I took this career planning class. The second weekend, this guy hands us a piece of paper, and this piece of paper says, here's the list of jobs you can get. This is how much time it's going to take, and this is how much money you're going to make. Of course, I'm going to look at the best option, you know. And so the best option was you can be a doctor. You're going to make $150,000 a year, and it's going to take you 8 years of your life. And I'm like, man, I could barely afford community college. I don't even want to be a doctor, and only $150,000. How much debt am I going to be in? How much are they going to take from taxes? And I'm like, so I dropped out right there, packed up my stuff, ended up moving to LA, and I was just couch hopping for years, sleeping at a friend's house. Finally got my first room. I rented a room. Then I got robbed from that place, left homeless, was homeless for a little while, found another friend, slept on his couch for a while, until finally I started to realize these patterns in my life. About my environment, about the people that I'm surrounding myself with. I'm picking up these people's habits without even knowing it. And it's kind of like, you know, you look at kids in high school. They all kind of dress the same. You can tell who the friends are because they're wearing the same stuff, they're doing the same things. Well, it's the same thing in our immediate reality, you know, our environment, where if you're hanging around successful people, that's what they say, you know, the whole sum of your success is based off the 5 people you hang around, the 5 closest people. Well, it's pretty accurate, because if you're hanging around people who don't show up, you know, they don't put in work, they're playing video games or they're doing whatever, you are unknowingly going to pick up those habits, just because we are, you know, basically creatures of habit. But the beautiful thing about being a human, you choose your environment. Right. You're not a bear. You're not, you know, going out hunting for food all the time and sleeping in a cave. You could choose if you want to live in Hollywood, you want to go to New York, you want to be in the middle of the country. So I decided to change my reality and go from there.
I got a question for you. I mean,
yeah.
With you being so young, how did you even start gravitating towards that realm of finding success? Because I mean, a lot of younger people right now, especially out here in LA, they're out partying, they're out still trying to find their way, and you seem to found your way and found the route you want to go early on. So how did you cultivate that? How did that happen for you?
My biggest thing was, you know, it may sound a little cliche, but it's like you can fail at doing something you don't love. So I might as well do what I love, which is acting, and I love everything in space, directing, producing, writing, all that stuff. And this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I said, you know what? I've been broke my whole life. I'm used to that. I'm not worried about, you know, being broke when I was at the time. I'd rather go out and try and do what I love and see what's going to happen, you know? Because if I got to sleep on a couch, cool. If I got to sleep in my truck, cool, whatever. I'm going to go out and I'm going to chase my dream, and I'm never going to give up on it. I'm never going to quit until it comes true, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, so it takes some people a lot of courage to come to LA and chase something.
Yeah.
Because I was having a conversation with a guy, and he told me for every 100 people that come to LA, there's 1,000 leaving. Because everybody, it's the reason why they call it transplant city, right? And so your story is very similar to a lot of people couch hopping and sleeping, trying to find a place to stay. That was my route at some point. Yeah. Where did fitness come along in that picture? How did that help you or inspire you?
Fitness changed my life, man. It was an absolute game changer, and I'm a huge advocate for fitness. Obviously, I love it. It's part of my life. It's always going to be a part of my life. And it started when I was 15 years old. I was a very skinny kid. I was very shy. I weighed 135 pounds at 6'3". It was a stick.
Same.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
Same, yeah.
A few of us have been there, you know. Right. And so I didn't really have much confidence in myself either, you know. And grew up all over the place. Never had any kind of like stable structure. I switched high schools 9 times. So I wanted to play sports, man. I love sports, but didn't get the chance. I'd switch to a new school, and they're like, no, you can't join. You don't know our plays. You don't know this. You're too far behind. We don't have that sport over here anymore, you know. So fitness was the one thing that I could stick with. I could bring it with me anywhere. If I was at home, I could work out. If I was at the gym, I could work out. I could do anything, and it was consistent for me. Well, after 2 years of me working out, I started to get really strong. I started to change my physique. I started to change the way I looked. Then I changed the way I felt about myself. I started to get more confidence. I knew I had strength. I could defend myself.
Right.
I could protect other people. I was crazy strong, you know, I was crazy athletic. Anything that I wanted to do, I realized I learned the lessons through fitness, you know, and it taught me this foundation that if you put in work and you do everything in your power to get there, you will get there. Because that's the thing about fitness, you know, it's like if you cheat, it shows. It shows. You eat that donut, you know, the 6-pack of donut, 12-pack, whatever, you sleep in too much or not enough, whatever your goals are, if you're not putting in the work, you're not showing up, doing the cardio, it's going to show, and there's no way to hide it, you know? And it's the same thing I feel with business, with relationships, with friendships, with, you know, anything in that realm of success, not just financial, that's going to come right back into your life, you know? And so I figured if I apply that to every other part of my life, whether that's acting, my friends, or relationships, whatever it is, I'll be successful in all these realms. And that's what I wanted, you know? I wasn't taught how to be successful. I had to go out and teach myself.
Yeah.
And fitness was a major part of that.
Where sometimes being hands-on, there's only so much you can ascertain through mouth or people telling you. Sometimes you have to be hands-on.
Yeah.
You know, so it's fitness, does it make you still feel the same way now as it did when you first started? Because fitness is you're in LA.
Yeah.
We're the land of fake lips, butts, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's a lot of superficial.
100%.
Here, so how is your passion still the same? Because for me, when I first started my personal training business, I was working all day. I was excited, but I was a broke personal trainer.
Yeah.
But at some point, my love for it stopped. How I view fitness stopped. Has your view or perspective of fitness changed?
I definitely did that same way because my initial way of moving here was a personal training course, and then obviously I turned into social media and did that route. But yeah, I went from going 5 a.m., starting with my first client, till 5 p.m. plus every single day, no matter what. I wanted to show up and put in this work because I knew how much it affected my life and changing my life for the better, that when I started to do it with individuals, you know, we did these hour sessions, hour and a half sessions, whatever it was, it started to get to a point where I realized it's a big part of fitness in people's lives has to do with how they feel about themselves and not even the actual physical act of being healthy. Yeah. Like obviously I want to be healthy and live a long life and, you know, do that, but I wanted to give back more what it did and how it changed my life. And so that's when I started to focus on social media. I was like, oh, I have more of a reach with this. I can inspire more people with this. Now I can start an online course, and then I transferred to that. And so yeah, definitely, like I had the part where people were telling me all their, you know, their issues, their stuff, and I'm doing the best I can to help them and get through all that stuff. And I realized I could do more if I distanced myself from the one-on-one. Until I became close with someone like that, you know, but I could distance that, and then I focused more online and reaching a bigger audience and then growing there. So then it like kind of revamped it. I got burnt out, you know, you get tired. You're not only are you training these people all day, every day, you have to train yourself also. And then you're like, okay, all I'm doing is spending 24/7 in the gym. I'm eating, sleeping, drinking, dreaming in the gym, you know? It's like, how am I ever gonna reach my end dream, my end goal, which is acting, you know, which is directing and all the things in that avenue. So there's definitely been that wave, but now that I'm back on my path and I'm focused on my vision and on my dream, it revamped again. Yeah. I love it just as much because I know what it's doing for me. I know it's going to help me get those roles that I want, you know, and create the dream that I've always had. So definitely that wave.
Yeah. I think it's amazing because I think you're what's good about the Instagram, about social media and stuff like that, because
Thank you.
You're using what you have aesthetically. Like aesthetically, you look like Thor. You're so, you know, people come to the page for that. They come to see a good-looking guy that's on there, a guy that's into fitness as well, and really blossom in there. They're coming there. But for you, I know you personally, and I know your heart, and I know who you are. So the fact that you're grabbing that attention that way, and then in your stories and little things that you incorporate on there, you're showing who you are as a person. And that person is a really good guy, a fun-loving guy, caring guy, like all those things which attracted me to you as a really good friend. Those things resonate with me, and that's the part I see. So I think you're doing an amazing job there, but how do you differentiate between the two of what you want to put out to social media and to those people, and also the stuff that you want to get out personally?
Yeah. So with that, you know, I've met so many people. I've met in the social media realm. You know, I've got so many friends. I mean, there are people out there that they're posting this persona of them, and then deep down, that's not who they are.
Right.
And then same thing with me. I was like, oh, well, I just want to bring my own uniqueness into the world. That was one of my favorite quotes I heard growing up, you know, and be true to thine own self. Well, I figured, you know, if it's going to grab someone's attention, this photo, you know, whether I'm in the gym shirtless or whatever, great. But I don't want it to just be, you know, vanity. I don't want it to be just, you know, look at me for me and like for this physical aspect, because there's millions of people out there that are great looking and have that. What can I do to add value to somebody's life? You know, how can I better somebody's life and leave someone better than how I found them? Because that's always been my goal, you know. And so I figured, you know, if that's what they're coming for, they want to look at this, I can slide a little, you know, a little truth, a little motivation, a little part of myself in there, so they don't just look at it as, you know, it's not like a beautiful girl online. You're just looking at that. You're not looking at the photos just because they're wearing a bathing suit or a bikini. You know, how do I add that value? And so that's kind of where I had to change that. But for the most part, it's just me being me, and I believe that, you know, we should live in our truth and bring that to the table and try to help other people do the same thing. You know.
You said something, and it just brings back to me like how everything is connected. Like I've met you through Kerry, really good guy, and we keep really good people around us. But the connectedness is you said something that I've always said, where fitness is vanity. Yeah. And the moment fitness became vanity, it's only about how you look. Yeah. And when you only care about how you look, you're constantly comparing yourself to the next person. Hence why you're always changing, because this is the new trend. For somebody wanting to get into fitness, or what any advice for them in a world where everybody's trying to be the same, but here we have an individual who has made a mark by just being yourself, which is way easier, less stressful. Yeah, definitely. Yes. My whole thing is I'm not trying to be better than anybody else. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. Right. So what is that? You know, and figuring that out for yourself. It's like if you're going in and you're trying to be better than this guy or that guy, there's always going to be someone has better genetics than you. They're going to be in better shape. They're going to put in more work. They're going to do whatever. But if you go out there every single day and you give the best that you can possibly give in all aspects of your life, you can go to bed happy. You can go to bed satisfied, because you know there's nothing that I'm worried about. You know, I'm not trying to compare myself or do this. We are individuals. So I believe that we should live as individuals, you know, and like, yeah, we have commonalities and you know, common interests and all these different things. But if I'm trying to be cookie cutter, cardboard cutout of everybody else, it's like, what's the point? I don't want to be a machine, you know?
And you lose yourself.
Exactly.
You lose yourself.
And if you're trying to be like everyone else, you're constantly comparing, you're never going to have that self-confidence in yourself. You're never going to have what you need to be successful, because you're in the back of your mind, you're never going to be happy. Right. You know, you're never going to just sit in and be like, oh, I'm good, you know? Yeah, I can have a piece of cake and not worry about it, you know? And I think that's kind of like, it comes down to the mental side of things, which is more important, I believe, than the actual physical side. And, you know?
I think another thing about you that I want to talk about and let our viewers hear about as well is your love for your mother. Yeah. It's a big thing for you. Yeah, man. And you know, a lot of stigmas associated around that for men, and having the relationship with their mothers that they publicly display and really have an affinity for, right? So how did you become comfortable with that aspect? I mean, obviously you love your mom, but putting it out there and letting people see that, how did you have fun with that and make that happen?
So I mean, that can be very tough for the male to be vulnerable, you know, to show that side where it's like, oh, look, I am a mama's boy. Right. All right, well, I grew up with a single mother who has 5 kids. That's the strongest person I've ever met in my life, man. And if I was trying to be like anyone, it's not the macho male that's trying to be the alpha male out there. Right. I'd rather be like my mom, man. I'm not trying to be a female, you know, but I'm trying to be strong. I'm trying to embody what she's brought to my life and how she's changed my life. And by being that example, it's like she rose to the occasion. Right. She was doing things that nobody wanted to and nobody would do. I mean, I've took my nephews, 2 and 4 years old, to Disneyland one time, alone. That's my first time ever doing it. That was the craziest day of my life, man. You throw some cotton candy in the mix, that is the hands down craziest day.
Bouncing off the wall.
Exactly. Yeah. She did it with 5 kids, man. So it's kind of like the same thing like me having long hair, you know, to a degree, where it's like the rest of, let's just say United States, like middle America, the normal thing to do is to have, you know, guys have short hair, you got to work a 9-to-5 job, you got to do this. And that's not always the case so much now, but it was for a long time. And me growing on social media, I heard that all the time. Why don't you cut your hair? I heard every name you could possibly imagine, all this stuff, you know, sunshine, all that stuff. Like I was, but for me, I became confident in who I am as a person. You know, I know I'm a big guy, I'm strong, I'm confident, I bring a lot to the table where I'm not gonna worry about what this other person's saying about me, what their opinion of me is, because I know who I am.
Sure.
So when I bring my mom onto the table, it's like, that's my mom, you know, it's my job to love and protect her, you know, like, and that's what I'm always gonna do, and she inspired me to be that person, you know?
That's amazing. Yeah, that's it's crazy because we talk about that a lot. Like,
Yeah.
The relationship with the son and the mother, and how big that is. So for you
Huge.
to openly do that is amazing.
Yeah,
If
and
anybody
so-
has a problem, they can come talk to me.
I
you know?
got you. I
No,
got
I'm
you.
just kidding.
I want to applaud you on that, man, because once
Yeah.
again, there's a
Yeah.
connection. My mom
Yeah.
raised 5 kids.
Oh, no way,
On
man.
her own,
Crazy.
single, 4 boys,
That's
1
insane.
girl. And I've always said, and this is something I've learned as time went on, I learned how to be a man from my mother.
Yeah.
Like my dad wasn't there, but I learned that from my mom, and to see the strength and persistence. Like, it's hard to take care of myself out here.
Yeah.
Let alone 5, 4 boys,
Yeah.
That's
1 girl on your own, and we never wanted for anything. You know, so like I have that same love, I have that same appreciation for my mother as well, man. So I applaud you on that, man, because without moms, where would we be? They do everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
man.
so I know Carrie has the
100%.
same relationship
Yeah.
with his mom, man. So it's all the same thing, man.
Yeah,
so
man.
I applaud you for that, for putting that out there, man. 'Cause once
course,
again,
man.
like, to be vulnerable in front of people is not the macho thing to do, but it actually
Yeah.
is the
It
macho
really is.
thing.
But that's the whole thing, like being that macho male, that alpha male that's hiding all of the true emotion deep down, like to not be able to talk about that, that's not healthy.
No.
You know, that's not right, and that's gonna end up like messing with things long term, you know. And so
It'll
like
come out at some point.
exactly, it comes out in one way or another.
In the form
Yeah.
of aggression or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. But yeah, it comes out. Brock, man, thank
Yeah.
you for coming on the show, man. But
course.
before we let you go, all right?
What's up? What's up?
We have this game that we play called This or That, all right? So
Shoot.
you got to choose between 2 of these questions I'm going to ask you, and you got to choose rapid fire. You got a 30-second clock, so you got to go really quick.
That old
All right.
saying that there's no such thing as a wrong answer.
Throw it out the window.
Trump.
Throw it out the window. There's a definite answer.
Is that how you trick me? Is that how you trap me in this?
All right, you ready?
All right, let's see what we
All right,
got.
let's see what we got.
So I just say this or that, or what is it?
You
Or I
pick
choose
between
one?
those 2.
Okay.
Between the 2 questions, yeah.
Okay.
All right, ready?
No.
Number 1, He-Man or Thor?
Thor.
All right. Number 2, The Notebook or Love Actually?
The Notebook.
Okay.
Yeah. I
All
cry
right.
every time.
Jean-Claude Van Damme or Vin Diesel?
Damn.
Come on now. Which one?
Shoot, man. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
You gotta say one. Come on, yeah, go. One.
Jean-Claude Van
There you
Diesel.
go. There you go. All right.
Jean-Claude all the way.
Coachella or Stagecoach?
Man, you know me. You
All
know
right,
that
no.
stuff. Stagecoach, bro. Stagecoach.
All right, last one. And this is a big one. This is real, all right?
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber or Cable Guy?
Dumb and Dumber, bro. Easy.
That's good.
Yeah.
My name is Carlos
Definitely
Campbell,
Dumb and
and
Dumber.
I approve this
You
game.
approve that? Thanks
Awesome,
again,
man. Thank you guys for having me, man.
All
Appreciate
right,
it, bro.
so you guys can binge watch all the episodes at TacklinLifeTV.com and on the EverTalk app and on Apple TV and Roku. So thank you guys. We appreciate it. Peace.
Dope. Woo!
Right.
That was dope.
After a rough start.
Thank you.
Hold on, let me take a couple of quick pictures
yes,
here.
yes,
Here we go.
dope.
Stand by. Right here, guys. All right, let me dewire you guys. You
Oh.
changing your staying.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, I know you're.
No,
Oh, you guys are good.
Change it, okay.
Oh yeah.
See, I love the ones that I don't watch live because then I get to watch them.
That's why I threw it up there.
Yeah.